So we've talked literally almost an hour about this past election, historical elections. Let's talk about this upcoming recall election. You have now seen firsthand for the last 14 to 15 months what has been done to your state. You live in California. You've seen the outrage of people across political spectrums with Gavin Newsom and his behavior, dining out, not wearing a mask. You know, this is for you guys, not for me. So now finally, they've gotten the votes necessary for this recall. What's next? What's the outcome? What are your feelings on everything?
Well, I'm going to quote my friend, our friend, Steve Poikonen, who says, I don't play team sports. That's the problem in California. There's too much team sports. And a lot of the leftist Democrats are being sold this bill of goods that this is a right-wing recall, whatnot. Don't let this conservatives get in and stuff. And they're still playing the lesser of two evils thing. Well, I guess it's better taking Gavin Newsom than a conservative coming in, whatnot, and stuff. When there's a lot of Democrats, there's a lot of leftists, there's a lot of people who on the left want Gavin Newsom gone too as well. It's not just the fact that he just, didn't handle the whole COVID situation the way he shut down the economy as well. It's where he pissed away the money on his contractors that really didn't do a lot of work. No bid contracts that he was giving to his friends, whatnot. And then what he did with the homeless situation. Instead of really, there's a lot of homeless advocates. I'm a homeless guy. I want to do something. In the richest country in the world, I can't believe we're going to have close to 700,000 homeless people, probably over 1 million by the end of the year with this whole COVID situation that they never solved when it comes to renting and mortgages. But he took money and instead of finding like permanent housing or good housing for some homeless and give a real solid solution, he gave people waivers to go to hotel rooms, to stay in hotel rooms that they charged 3 times the price of the actual room, whatnot. The money ran out quick.
Let's stop there.
Let's
stop that.
He did this shit. And that's another reason why it's like, this guy's got to fucking go.
Let's talk about that because it parallels something that people just don't get with the military-industrial complex and further shows the gangster-esque extension of these policies. You said 2 key things there. No bid contracts, just like we had with Halliburton in Iraq and Kellogg, Brown and Root, all those things. And then you said, we're charging triple the price. Again, something you saw with those companies. Remember, back in the day, folks.
A Coke, right? $9 for a Coke.
$9 for a Coke. If one of your tires went out on a literal 18-wheeler tank, you blew the fucking tank up instead of replacing the tire out there. And this is, again, another revenue stream for crony capitalism, not true capitalism, certainly not socialism, which the right will claim it is because you're giving away free money, right? Well, no, actually, if you were putting an infrastructure in where you're giving somebody triple what they charge for a hotel, you could probably find a group home or a facility to rent for several of these people with a caretaker, actually, to start things off. I mean, these are common sense. And, when I get into these things, a lot of people start pulling, well, I thought you were a libertarian. No, I'm not. I thought you were conservative. No, I'm not. You thought wrong. I still think we have an obligation to help people. My problem is these systems get gamed to a level where it's not helping everybody and it's hurting all of us. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but continue. Some of the other things that Newsom's done.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that remember when Donald Trump extended the kind of like the help when he went through FEMA and all that stuff, and it was like, hey, listen, I'm going to give you guys $300 extra. Your state has to meet it, an extra $100 to give you extra $400 a week, whatnot.
Yeah,
that didn't happen in California. California didn't have the money, right? And I was like, what the fuck is he doing with all the federal money over here? What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
So wait a minute. For what are you saying is during this COVID situation where other people on unemployment were getting an extra tier of money of about $400, we were seeing that even in New York. That was not happening in California.
That was not happening in California. In other words, the federal government put $300 on top, and they asked the state to put an extra $100 in. And if the state couldn't do it, if they were broke, they could apply for something, whatever the case might be. But we only got the $300 extra a week. And I was like, well, where's the measly extra $100 from the state? Oh, the state didn't happen. Why? Who knows who's running everything over there? And there's a guy who's running right now named Kenneth Mejia, right? And he's running for controller of LA, and he just shows all the wasteful spending we have across the board, left and right in California. It is ridiculous. And this is the home of Gavin Newsom, who's the nephew to Nancy Pelosi, who's in the state of California, and guys like Eric Swalwell, sleeping with Chinese spies, and
he's going to clean it up, though. Remember, Swalwell was going to clean it up. He was another one that couldn't poll above about 5% running for president. And I remember his cringe-worthy, ridiculous campaign video. I don't know if you saw it, but it was him changing the dirty diaper of a baby.
No, I did not see that.
And throwing it in the garbage. And this is what I'm going to do in D.C. No,
yeah, right.
I would assume, Eric, somewhere down the line, there's actually going to be some weird fetish video of someone pooping on you come out. I'm just saying, I don't have any evidence of it. Swalwell seems like that kind of guy.
Well, the corruption runs deep in California, and it also bleeds over into elections. And that's the thing I'm talking about, Jay. I'm not fighting for Donald fucking Trump here. I'm fighting actually more for the grassroots candidates that have gotten cheating, the ones I know. There's a lady by the name of Angelica Duenas who's run against Tony Cardenas. Tony Cardenas hasn't been seen in his district since 1972, right? Like the guy is just MIA. He's never out there. Angelica has been gaining. But yet there's a lot of votes that come in and we want to question these things. We want to see everything. We've asked through the Raji Robb case. Raji Robb is actually taking this thing to the Supreme Court. All Raji Robb has been doing is asking for the Cassandra logs, right? The Cassandra logs on the back end say, okay, what happens in California? The law is no vote can be counted until election night. But in California, and we have video proof of this, they'll send all the ballots through the machines, through the Smartmatic machine. It's another company that they act like it's not Smartmatic, but it's Smartmatic. They run all about 80% of your mail-in ballots are run in through before election day. And then they say on election day, they press a button, which will give you a count, and then the count will come out. So that's what they're saying, claim that happened on election day. Remember all of a sudden Joe Biden was losing bad, but then all of a sudden California, Washington came out. They just pressed those buttons because they had all the mail-in ballots there, right? All Raji Robb has done in his case is recommend to look at the back end of the Cassandra logs to see if anybody's accessed the computers. They won't give it to us. That would just show like, hey, somebody looked at a count where and when. Early counting is early fraud. If I can game the system and I know what areas, okay, this guy is losing over here in this district, that guy's losing over that district, this woman's living over here, I can get more votes to those particular areas. In other words, if I have an early count of the system, I can game the system a lot easier and I can fix what I need to fix. They won't even give us the Cassandra laws to look and see if anybody accessed that computer, to see if anybody accessed the count. Because once it goes through the machine, it creates a digital image. There's a count in the back of the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
no,
that's
absolutely.
Something they've been illegally doing and gaming the system, so they have information and they know where and when to cheat.
Just to kind of get back to the Newsom thing, because I cut you off and I didn't get where you think it's going to go. So the recall, like you said, they're trying to make it into a right-left thing. It's going to happen. What happens with the vote? What happens if he's recalled? Do we have a full-scale election again where, it is a possibility that a Republican could get in as the governor? It seems to me that's almost an impossibility of a Republican governor in California with all the systems they now have in place, especially with the extensions of these executive orders and this COVID emergency. But maybe I'm wrong. What do you think?
I'm kind of with you, Jay. I don't think it's going to happen. They have too many security things in place. If there was an establishment Republican who is like a centrist of sorts that they can rely on, the establishment might let him get in, but they don't have that candidate there. And Newsom's their boy, and I don't think they're going to embarrass Newsom this bad. I think he's going to squeak it out somehow, and then they're going to make him look like the superstar. You know what I'm saying? There are some solutions that the state is presenting for rental help and mortgage help. It hasn't come through yet. We're going to see if it works. There's an 80-20 program. That might be a saving grace for Gavin Newsom, where they can say, hey, listen, you haven't paid rent in a year. We're going to pick up 80% as long as your landlord agrees to squash 20%, bring you up to date, and then you can work it out from there. So I think they're trying to do something with that maybe save him and stuff like that. But the way the election systems are set up, I don't see the establishment giving a ground. And we don't have any ways to check. We have no ways or means to check this thing. In Los Angeles, we have a 1% audit. A 1% audit. So anybody can fix a fucking 1% audit. There's no transparency. That's one area. San Francisco, his ant roll stuff over there. I do not see Gavin Newsom being removed from office. Maybe a little bit of a scare. But I don't see it happening. I see him maintaining control. And in fact, I think just like the way they're trying to rehabilitate George Bush and all these old war criminals, they'll do the same thing with Gavin Newsom. He'll be the superstar for something. And that will be it. I mean, it's kind of devastating really too, as well. When you think about the small businesses and the small restaurants in California, half of them are done. They're not opening up again. They're done. So he crushed that, but more corporations will come in. He's very corporate friendly. His boys will give him his kick down. He'll put shit up where he's got to put up shit. And then you'll see them coming out trying to rehabilitate this guy as if he was the best governor the whole time. And he never even had to face a recall. And that's just a shame because he deserves a recall. He deserves to be thrown out on his ass.
Yeah. And perhaps like the cherry on top of the sundae of super creepy is the fact that he literally resembles Christian Bale from American Psycho to an absurd level, where you're like, I do live in some kind of a cartoon reality. They picked the guy that looks like the business serial killer. Why not? Yep. Why not? All right, we've been going for over an hour. I know that these trips are not cheap, my friend. And I know that if you're going to bring your squad out there to Arizona Monday through Wednesday next week.
I got to talk with the crew for hopefully. So,
well, I mean, if you're going to make that happen, it doesn't happen for free. And I know that even if you don't make that happen, you always put these funds towards fighting this stuff, getting on the ground, bringing people news. So please, please, please tell people how they can support you and where they can get some cash to you guys.
Well, we're Rockfin it, right? We're just like you. We're part of the Rockfin revolution. I want to tip my hat off to you and the Last American Vagabond. Since you guys have been going hard, you've been removing us from the tops of the week. You know what I'm saying? I liked hanging up there. At one point when we went over there, we had 4 of the top 8 videos, but now you guys are just coming hard. But it's well-deserved, and I'm really happy about that. And it kind of tells you about the people we're bringing to the platform, the people who want the truth, the people who don't want to fucking deal with the mainstream media and their little freaking digital gulags they have us in, where they fucking, the disgusting thing about the demonetization that we're facing right now too as well. We didn't even make a lot of money when it came to advertising. Jason Burnmas, Last American Vagabond, Convo Couch, we made the majority of our money on YouTube through super chats. They've just closed down the mechanism of us using of not allowing the people to fund us. And that is disgusting. That is fascism at its finest.
And hold on, don't tell me. At the same time, monetize our content across the board and have the right to run ads on our content while we don't get paid, and they marginalize our voice. And for the people that pay for the premium YouTube experience that you also use to get revenue, we're not forget about us being on a level playing field on the algorithm of search and information and truthfulness. That listen, CNN can lie all they want, they're not going anywhere. Fox News can lie all they want, they're not going anywhere. MSNBC lie all day. Literally, I can go back to videos from 2007 where they're still talking about weapons of mass destruction, and they're up in their archives. They paid no price. They paid no price. And we, who were lucky to squeak out, $1,500 to $5,000 a month, depending on how much people watched our content. No.
It's disgusting. Yeah, and they always say, well, we got to clean up the situation. You guys are just getting caught in the blender of the QAnoners and the fake news and stuff. I'm like, bro, you just went out there and you peddled weapons of fucking mass destruction for years. You peddled Russiagate, and now you peddled Russian bounties, and now you want to sit here and say that we're the conspiracy theorists? You know what they're doing now, Jay? Like this Destiny Cat. What actually is Russiagate there? What is Russiagate? I'm like, is that the new fucking move to act like it was nothing and stuff like it? Like you and the mainstream media and all these other people didn't peddle the fact that Donald Trump colluded with fucking Putin in the Kremlin to fix the 2016 election, and that his presidency is illegitimate, and the fact that now he's turning a blind eye to bullshit bounties that you made up. I mean, on its face, how stupid was the Bounty Gate story? All right, wait a second. So you're going to tell me that the Russians had to influence the Taliban or members of the Mujahideen to go kill Americans? We've been there for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, 18 years later. 18 years later, that's when it's happening. Give me a break.
They weren't motivated. We had to have Putin catch. I mean, just so stupid. But yet they get to stay on the air. They get to go push their fucking predator class fucking talking points. So it's disgusting. So get over to Rockfin. The Combo Couches there are okay. FIN, like we talk about. The Combo Couch. We have a PayPal, a link over there. You can always send us love on PayPal. And we're on Patreon for the time being. Who knows how long we'll be able to last on Patreon once again. But yes, we're people funded. We want to get out there. We want to get this information. with YouTube fucking kneecapping us, and I know Jason can confirm this, it makes it harder. But that's what they want us to do. They want us to stop. They don't want us to keep doing what we're doing. They don't want us to go to these spots because we all do this. We get out there. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want me going to Arizona. They don't want Fiorello and Johnny Tsunami and the Combo Couch going to Arizona. Help us out. Help us get there. You can always endorse us for $9.99 a month on Rockfin. That is great. You can throw some love on Patreon if that's what you want to do. We always prefer the Rockfin. And then we have a PayPal link. You can send us direct funds. All that stuff goes to play. It goes to work. We have a great working team. When we do these things, we take the people's love. We go out there. We do the work. We bring them back a product that's worthy of the money they spent. And we're going to continue to do that. And we need your help right here because this is important now. Steve Bannon had on John Brakey, who's out there, who's part of the Arizona audit. John Brakey is a progressive Democrat, right? It's important to have other leftists out there because what they're trying to do is like, these are conservative, MAGA people. That's all they want. They're apologists for the insurrectionist on January 6th. That's all they are. So when a leftist shows up and we're like, hey, this is a Bernie Sanders supporter, I'm a Tulsi Gabbard supporter here, we're telling you that these elections were bullshit and that this audit needs to happen, and we're going to explain why. We're going to make it happen. Really quickly, Jay, on January 6th, one of the things that really just, it made me have one of those, oh my God moments is we were out there and we were filming. We couldn't live stream. As you know, everything was getting cut, and this is by the Capitol building. There was that little stage towards the back that I jumped up over there to try to get some footage of. And somebody's like, oh, what outlet you live with? I'm like, oh, I'm with the Convo Couch. Oh, I've never heard of it. I'm like, yeah, we're independent media. We're kind of leftist of sorts and stuff, but we're election integrity activists here, and we're here to just document and also educate people on elections. He's like, oh, really? He's like, I didn't know about shit until now and stuff. I said, yeah, we started in the 2016 elections when Bernie got cheated. Dude looked me straight in the eye and said to me, he goes, you know what? When you guys were talking about that, we didn't pay attention, and I'm sorry. We fucked up, and now we're paying a price for it. My mind was blown. My mind was blown. And I was like, I got to keep going with this stuff too as well, because this was a conservative Trump guy apologizing to me for what happened to Bernie Sanders because they kept their mouths shut. Because when they kept their mouths shut, right, first they came for Bernie Sanders. I didn't say anything. Well, yeah, now they came for you. So me not only having that kind of hard, what was that movie with Bruce Willis?
Which one?
The one when he's out of the building, the most famous one. He says the line, "Welcome to the party, pal."
Oh, the Die Hard moment?
Die Hard. It's kind of, I said that to a lot of Trumpers. Welcome to the party, pal. Glad you made it. Like, you've been here for 4 fucking years. But it's important. They don't want us out there. So a leftist outlet like us going out there, talking to conservatives, talking to people, educating them on election, bringing them along further. Like, I want to have these people saying the words, proprietary software needs to go. I want their heads looking there because they're not looking there yet. There was only one state senator, I think, in Michigan that said, why don't we have open source systems that tabulate these machines? Why are we rocking with proprietary software? I only saw that once. We need to talk about that. We need to get that out there. And then we also have tracking of these ballots. The ballots that come in the mail, the absentee ballots, we need to have these tracked. If you put tracking on these ballots, you know how much that would clean up? Because now you have to have a legit chain of custody, which is another important thing. The chain of custody is one of the most important things in elections, of where the ballot's coming from, who it was signed with, where it gets to. You now strengthen the chain of custody. You kind of throw out a lot of fraud. You block a lot of fraud just by simply adding tracking. So that's another thing we have to talk about. We have to talk about the framework. We have to educate. We have to get educated. And it's important for a leftist channel like us to get out to Arizona. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you can help us out, get over to our PayPal. We want to go to AZ. We're going to jump in the car. It's about 6 hours plus, 6.5 hours away. We're going to set up interviews. We're going to get the scoop, and we're going to bring it to you the way it needs to be brought to you, straight out. No bullshit, no fucking interference. And we're going to give you the facts of what's going on the ground in Arizona. It's so important right now, Jay. We've never had anything like this. As Arizona goes, so goes the world. So goes the world if we can show these things. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I'm not a Trump supporter, so I ain't out there fighting for Trump. I'm out there fighting for free, fair elections, because God only help us if we get this thing right, and then we change the framework of our elections, and we throw out the proprietary software and these zombie corporations that are running our elections, and we get some real elections over here. We can have a real democracy. We can change the whole landscape. We can put the fucking predator class on its face and throw them the fuck out if we get this straight. And only if we get this straight. This is the most important issue, whatever you stand for. whatever issue it is, if you're a homeless advocate, if you're a Medicare for all advocate, if you're against the predator class in science, and if you want to put DARPA, if you want to hold all these companies accountable, if you want to stop giving all this money to the Pentagon, you know what I'm saying? If you want to stop the predator class, this is the way we do it. We take it back. Somebody says we got to take it back. I don't know if we've ever had it, Jay. I don't know if we've ever had it.
I know.
I think we've had theater since the birth of our country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's always
Maybe
been that class, brother.
but I don't know. I'm starting to think that he's part of the whole skit sometimes. I don't care what it is. Let's fix our elections. Let's get it right.
Absolutely. Pasta, I want to thank you so much for coming out. I hope my audience does go over and support you. I do want to remind everybody, I'm also on Rockfin. If you are a premium member, you get both of our everybody's stuff, really. So if you're already a premium member, by watching his stuff and being a premium member, you're helping him out just doing that. But remember, we got the tips over there. It is a platform for free speech. We're going to be in touch this weekend. I want to see what you're doing. I thank you so much, brother, okay?
No doubt. Hey, listen, we go out there, Jay. We'll go live for you there. You know what I'm saying? We'll get the microphone here for Jason Burmis and the Burmis Brigade. Pasta Jardula, you know the predator class is getting us. Get on over to my YouTube and see my independent documentaries. They're up for free before YouTube takes us down. Jay, I love you. I love working with you. I love collaborating with you. It's been a blessing. Where the Convo Couch is gone, I can only speak for myself, but I know there was a lot of people wondering which way we would go and stuff like that. But you guys, you've opened our eyes to a lot of things, and the beautiful thing about it is you show us the paperwork. It's right in front of our fucking face, ladies and gentlemen. We don't even have to fucking guess. You brought us a lot of stuff. You and the Last American Vagabond, you and Slow News Day, man. Some of the stuff you guys have educated us with. It's been amazing, and I thank you, and I look forward to collaborating with you, and I look forward to bringing the news on the elections. We're going to be the election team over here at Convo Couch. This is what we do, and we got all the receipts, and we're going to continue to bring it to you like it is.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much, Pasta.
Love.
And like he said, we have the documents, folks. If you are tuning in to this on YouTube, you missed an hour. That's right, you missed an hour. We only were able to put about 15 minutes of this up on YouTube because of the nasty ass censorship. So at the very least, make your free Rockfin account so you can watch this whole video over at rockfin.com/Jason Burmis. If you are going to become a premium member and endorse myself or Pasta, it's like a Netflix for creators. You get all of our content. And remember, we need more platforms that go beyond this false left-right paradigm and expose the predator class for what it is. Because, folks, I'll say it again a million times over. It is not about right or left. It is always about right and wrong. I love you guys, and YouTube audience, I hope I see you on the flip side over at Rockfin, where you can enjoy this full interview and so much more for free.